Hey, what's up, Roxstars? Welcome back to the channel. All right, you guys, let's talk about the #InSARS movement. Let's talk about the presidential debate, the very last one last night, the election as a whole, and let's talk about the Strahan-Mattingly interview. All right, let's get to it. All right, you guys, so yeah, you get the plain face Rocky today. And back to what we was doing. First story up, you guys, we have to talk about the #InSARS movement that is going on currently in Nigeria. Listen, all I can tell you is you have to look at the hashtag on Instagram. If you look at that, you will get all that you need to know about the corruption and the devastation that's happening over in Nigeria. So, SARS, what is SARS? Well, it is a branch of the Nigerian police force. It was created in 1992. It stands for the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. And this unit was created to, you know, ironically enough, it was created to combat things that were going on in Nigeria, certain illegalities and things. It was a unit that was supposed to make the citizens of Nigeria feel safer in their respective communities. And for the first couple of years, it did do that. But as time went on, the unit became known for its extrajudicial killings, tortures, and other illegal means, basically using their power to wreak havoc and just do whatever they wanted to do within the communities in Nigeria. So evidently this has been going on for years. It was created in 92. They just said just the first couple of years was it effective and what it was created for. So you can just imagine, since somewhere around 94, 95, it's just been out of control. I mean, we've heard a lot about the Nigerian government as a whole out there. I won't lie and say that I know a lot about Nigerian government, but I have heard over the years about the corruption there. So this is just a further extension of the way, I guess, things have been going on, you know, of the way that things have been operating in Nigeria. And the people are fed up. So what got them to this final point where now we have this hashtag? There was a video that circulated of a unprovoked attack on a citizen of Nigeria. He was beaten and ultimately killed by this SARS unit. We here in America know all about police brutality, especially when it comes to you know, Black people at the hands of the police. So, you know, we already know how that feels to see something like that on video. When the video began to circulate, the police department and the government said that it was not a real video, that it was fake. They found who posted the video and they arrested that person. That really got the citizens upset, okay? Because not only are you doing this, killing people, innocent people on the streets, but you also are now trying to keep the information from getting out through social media by, you know, arresting the person that posted it. So once they did that, that upset them, and the people began to protest. So the protest started a couple of weeks ago, and it has just been brutal. When you watch the videos, like I said, it is brutal. These people are just being shot and killed by the police, the people that you would think that would be hired to protect the communities that they serve. They are actually just walking down the street and picking these people off left and right. There have been more than 10 killings, probably way more than that when it's all said and done. And it is a mess. What's very disheartening about this whole thing is you don't even really see much about it on the news, at least if you watch CNN, MSNBC, you know, your regular local news channels. You really have to look for it. That is unfortunate. but it is definitely going on with the elections and everything that is going on here. It's hard to find the information, so I just had to look it up, and it is, man, it is, sometimes when you look at these things, you just wonder what the fuck is wrong with the world today, okay? And what's even worse about it is it seems like it's, I mean, I know other cultures have faced their certain issues, you know, systemic racism and things like this, but it just always feels like Black people just have it the worst. I mean, it just feels like Black people worldwide have it the worst. It's even more heartbreaking because Nigeria is an African country and it's ran by Black people, and you have corrupt Black people, you know, killing innocent Black people, you know, young Black people. I think they said half of the country is under 19. That is a whole bunch of young people. You guys, young people are really out there. They are the ones that are protesting. These are the ones that are putting their lives on the lines to make it happen. I really feel like my generation is kind of the last of the yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am generation. These kids today, you know, when I say kids, I'm really saying like 30 years old and younger, like they are on it. And I admire seeing, you know, the passion that these young kids have, but it's very, very depressing to see that, you know, that these young kids are out there protesting, and these young people are also the ones that are dying, you know. It's terrible though, you guys. The hashtag, I was looking at it this morning and I was like, what in the world? I mean, I even saw a video of them storming a hospital of some people that had been injured in a protest. These police were actually stormed the hospital to go in there and kill the people, to go and finish the job. It is just so much lawlessness out there, and the people are fed up. The people are fed up. The president of Nigeria said that they would disband the unit, you know. I think he said that back on October 11th, October 12th. The people are not satisfied with that, only because they know that, yeah, you get rid of the unit, these people are just going to be redeployed in another area. And, you know, these things will continue on. So they don't trust it and want something else to be done. Of course, as the spotlight gets put on it. I mean, thank God for social media. I know social media has all of its ills, for real. But social media is also the quickest way to get the information out there, whether it is correct or incorrect. But if we didn't have social media, you guys, we wouldn't be seeing all of this happening. And I think that is why the government is now being under so much pressure over there, is because these young kids have social media and they are posting the videos, and it is getting around, you know, whereas news crews maybe can't get in there because it's so volatile a situation right now. So we seeing it, and I wonder what is going to be done about it. But it is so heartbreaking to watch. I mean, it is just bad. It's bad. And something needs to happen. I don't know what happens in this case. If YSAP, Lord, I mean, I don't even want to think about it. But if YSAP were to win again, I mean, I know for a fact that he ain't worried about no African countries at all. You know, so they definitely wouldn't be able to count on any help from the U.S., you know, and I'm wondering, even if Biden does get the presidential nomination, like, what can the U.S. do to try to, you know, to try to make some changes over there? You know, I know that there's been so many calls for people to try to help, even down to celebrities. I know they were pressuring Beyonce and saying that she wasn't helping. I mean, I just kind of briefly saw things about that over the week. I didn't really get much into it, usually because I know that Beyonce and her foundation a lot of times does things off the grid and people don't necessarily need to know about it. But when it's something like this, I mean, when it's an entire government and a police force and, you know, something that has been rooted and has been a part of that system for years and years and years, like, how do you even expect one celebrity to be able to go over there and do something, you know? So, I just wonder what can exactly be done as U.S. citizens. What can we even do to, besides bring the awareness, and the attention? It definitely has to be something that the government has to step in with. I had one of my rock stars ask me to talk about it last week, and when I saw SARS, I just automatically thought the virus. Didn't even realize that this was going on. Oh, what a difference a week makes, because it's horrible over there. My heart goes out to all of my Nigerian rock stars, you know, wherever you are, because I know there are some here, you know, I have some here in the States, I have some over in Europe, and then, of course, in Africa, the ones who are on the front lines and are seeing this firsthand, experiencing this firsthand. It is just horrible to watch. So what do the people want? They want the unit to be disbanded. They want those who have taken their power and abused it punished. They want them thrown in jail. And they don't want them to just get a slap on the wrist and transfer to another location. Again, we know about those kind of things happening here in the States. No real accountability for the way that these people act once they are behind the shield of the badge. The difference with them as opposed to the United States is that the Nigerians want the police to still be active. They want them to do what they are supposed to do, you know, stop lawlessness in the streets and, you know, protect them from illegalities that may be going on. They're not trying to defund the police. They are trying to get the police to do what they have been hired on to do. And it would just be up to the government, the president, all the way down to try to make the changes that the people there want. Any of my Nigerian rock stars who watch me, who are there, who may have family and friends there, or who are just way more well-versed in the current state that's going on there, you know, you guys feel free to leave in my comments, you know, exactly what is happening and suggestions of what can be done on this side of the globe to help combat it, because you just feel helpless when you watch it. Them people are screaming and crying, and it is just heartbreaking, child. It's terrible. So, yeah, you guys definitely check it out, the #EndSARS hashtag on Instagram, and it is eye-opening. Prayers up for everybody over there. Hopefully they are able to get control of a very out-of-control situation. All right, you guys, so the debates last night. It's funny because I knew the debate was going to happen. That was the reason why I decided to do Let's Talk About It today. I wanted to make sure that I watched the debate. I was not pumped up to watch the debate because I've already voted. Like, I'm checked out of the election in that sense. I've already made up my mind. I've already cast my vote. Like, all of this shit that I get in the mail, all of this shit that I get in my emails, all of these fucking text messages I get, I just be like, I don't care. I have already voted, along with 47 million other people who have already done the same, which is a whole lot of people. 47 million people is the total amount of who had early voted in 2016 for the presidential election, okay? We still have, 12 days left before the election. So, yeah, 47 million. You guys, this is going to be a very huge turnout on the election of the president for the next 4 years. So, yeah, I had checked out, you know, and I was just like, well, whatever. But I was like, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it, and we're going to see how this goes. We already knew that they were going to have the whole muting system there where the moderator could mute YSAP and Biden if she had to. They were supposedly getting the topics. There were like 6 or 8 topics that they were going to speak on. They were going to be given 2 minutes of uninterrupted talk, and then they'd be able to respond back and forth a few times, you know, as long as the moderator would allow them, and then we would move on. So that is the way the whole debate thing was supposed to work out. And so I was just like, okay, well, we'll check it out and we'll see if that fucking YSAP can, you know, put down his damn toddler rattle long enough to be an adult and play nice in the debate. You don't even have to play nice. I mean, just respect the rules of the fucking debate. So we'll see how this goes, right? So, okay, so last night it came on. And surprisingly enough, you guys, I actually enjoyed the debate. Didn't expect to enjoy it. I thought that it went, well, everybody knows that it went way more smoothly than the first debate that these two had. I think that YSAP's team sat down with him and told him to shut the fuck up, okay? Control yourself long enough. Try to listen to what Biden says. Try to respond to his points, okay? I saw him with his little pen, you know, he was trying to write shit down. That happened only for a little while because finally he just started to just rely on his own haunches. But yeah, he did not interrupt hardly as much as he did in the first debate. Biden made sure that he did not hardly ever interrupt YSAP either. And that was enough for us to be able to hear what their points would be on both sides, okay? Now, YSAP's points were all lies. This man lied so much. What is the purpose of having a damn debate if you just gonna get up there and just make up shit the whole entire time? You know? And that has become his defense. Like, he gets up and he just says whatever the fuck he wants to say. And he knows that there is a select group of people that are going to believe it, you know? And that's the frustrating part about YSAP. Again, I don't know how the Republicans can deal with knowing that they have just a flat out known liar that is running their political party. Now, I know as a politician, you have the ability to maybe stretch certain truths. You know, you might put some things out there that, you know, the fact checkers might find incorrect. I know that happens in politics, but nobody does it as much as YSAP does. And the lies be so blatant that you know, and you might not even be all that politically savvy. Even your ass know that the motherfucker's lying. Okay? That's the kind of shit that's kind of lying that he do. Child, it was amazing. So anyway, the first lies that he started out with. So the first topic was coronavirus. This is always going to be something that you can hammer YSAP and his administration for because they completely blew it. And everybody knows it. Okay, so I just love to hear when Biden talks about it because the facts are the facts. You got 220,000 people that's dead. You know, you knew about it. You didn't say anything, but you was hee-heeing and ha-haing with, you know, the guy that wrote the book. You know, you secretly knew the devastation that it would cause, the deaths that it would cause, you know, all of this. That YSAP got up there and said that they did all what they were supposed to do. You know, he got to talking about closing out China and all of this. And, you know, China, you know, I went and I closed China. It's not my fault. It's China's fault. I was just like, the same shit. You can blame China all you want, okay? What did you do once you got the information is what is most important here, okay? China has had other viruses that have began over there that were stopped. There have been viruses in other parts of the country, other parts of the world that was stopped, did not come and make the impact on the United States, and that coronavirus did. And you were at the helm. You were the leader of this free nation, and you fucking dropped the ball. So I don't care what anybody says. That coronavirus, WhatsApp is never going to be able to dig out from under. That is going to be a part of his legacy. The same way that Bush has Katrina. He's always going to be attached to that Katrina, to the hurricane. Okay, so they went back and forth about that for about maybe almost 25 minutes. The second topic was Iran and Russia interfering in the elections. And, again, with social media and the strength that it has and the way that it's able to completely trick people into thinking that these are legitimate websites and legitimate tweets and legitimate posts on Facebook, and, the way that social media has it that it can fool people. This is always going to be a way now. People are always going to be getting into U.S. webosphere and attacking the elections process in that way. So they talked about that. They talked about North Korea, his relationship with Kim Jong-un. You guys know that WhatsApp has a fascination with dictators. He fancies himself as a dictator. He loves to see how dictators run their country. He wants people to look at him in that exact same way. He is a power-hungry, narcissistic. He is like a textbook case of somebody who is, if it would be okay for him to say, I think he would say like Hitler had some redeeming qualities, and he would, I think that he would just wants to be able to have that power and have people fear him. He thinks that fear is respect. And so he likes to see that in Putin and Kim Jong-un and people like that, so even while he's sitting up there and he is defending him, saying, we have a great relationship, and we're not in war and all of this, and how Barack Obama made it seem like he was so bad, and he basically wants to say, he's a good guy, that's what he wants to say. It's just, it was craziness. Fourth topic, healthcare, Obamacare. Okay, what he wants to be Trump care. I don't care what anybody says. WhatsApp had ran on his campaign in 2016. He ran on saying that they were going to reject Obamacare, that they were going to come up with something way better. His ass got in here, was here for 4 years, ain't did shit. Okay. Oh, if Obamacare was so horrible, then why is it still around? Oh, yeah, he says, we put people on there to run it much better. But the fact of the matter is, Obamacare is, first of all, it is so convoluted and difficult of a healthcare plan to even undo. From what I understand, Obamacare is just not that easy to just run in there and be like, okay, we're going to slash this, stop this, don't do that. Okay. And I love the fact that Obamacare actually has that on his legacy. Like that program, that healthcare program that he created, it is there. And obviously it is not that easy to get rid of. Or else y'all, WhatsApp would have gotten rid of it by now. But he didn't do anything, had 4 years, and now he still wants to say that, they have a plan in place. There's no plan in place. There's no plan in place. You just basically lied and just tried to make it seem like Obamacare was just that horrible. Biden started to talk about what he wanted to do, the changes that he wanted to make with Obamacare. He would call it Biden care and this, that, and the other. And we moved on from there. The next was immigration. Okay. And we talked about race as well. Immigration. You guys know how your president feels about those down at the border. We don't hear shit about the wall no more. That was another thing that he ran on in 2016. They're going to build this huge wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. The Mexicans was like, hell, fuck nah, bitch. No, we not. And they didn't. Okay. That wall has been a large disaster. I don't even hear anything about it. I don't know what's going on with the wall down there. Who was paying for it is what. Okay. But of course, talked about the children being separated from their parents. I don't know how you can even explain that. You know, just how cruel is it to 500 and something kids that just, you don't know where their parents at. You done sent their parents back. You done got these kids here. You know, of course, YSAP did bring up the fact that these kids, you know, people were in cages, and, you know, that the Obama administration was the ones who created those cages and all of that. Something that I would need to check on to find out if it was true or not. But the fact that they have separated these kids from their families, and then just don't know what they're going to do with the kids now is just a horrible, horrible thing. This was when I felt like Biden was finding his fire in him. I felt like he was able to, he stayed on task the entire night. Like, I felt like he was able to keep himself focused enough to really get out his points. Like, they said that he wasn't on the campaign trail for a couple of days because he was just home and he was preparing for this debate, and it showed. He definitely was well prepared. Whether or not he was telling the truth on certain things, he definitely was able to get his points out, and even got to the point where YSAP was just looking at him and listening himself. Talked about race, YSAP denying, you know, that he's a racist. He said he's the least racist person in this room. Okay, he's the least racist person. That means you're still racist. You're just not as racist as the rest of them. Let him tell it. He love the black people. He love the people of color. Yeah, he's just, you know, he don't know where these stories come from. The moderator was quick to point out some of the reasons why people will say that he's racist, and he just was clueless, you guys. Then they talked about the environment. We talked about fracking. I don't understand much about the environment. I just know that something needs to be done about the environment. You know, global warming, these extreme storms, these extreme fires. The world is hotter. You know, we got to worry about our ice caps and Antarctica, and, you know, just so many things that are happening. I don't know what needs to be done, but we need somebody that is going to be respectful enough to know that if we don't make the changes, then even worse will happen. And I don't believe that YSAP believes, you know, that that's something that he needs to address. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought Biden did very well. And afterwards, the polls showed that he did very well as well. I mean, people are saying that he won that debate. Okay. Of course, Trump's people will try to spin it and say, you know, that Biden didn't win it, and he did win that debate. YSAP didn't even talk as much. Like, I don't even feel like he spoke that much. He, a lot of times, just felt like he just wanted to attack. He didn't have any points really to make. You know, the whole thing, he was like, well, what did you do? You know, what did you do when coronavirus happened? And it was just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Because I wasn't the president, you know? Like, I'm not the one that's running the country. You the one. I'm trying to get the job. You the one that have the job. What did you do? You know? Trump kept on trying to bring up his son, trying to bring up Bernie Sanders, and finally Biden was like, who is he running against? Why is he talking about all these other people? You are running against Joe Biden. Give a fuck about Bernie Sanders and all of that, because he's not in the race. It was good. I enjoyed the debate. You know, I of course it's not going to make a difference to me anyway, because I've already voted, but you know, I feel like Biden did enough in that debate that if you were maybe on the fence, maybe you would have leaned towards Biden. Of course, there's still people out there that are undecided and all of this. And like my good doctor friend on Twitter said, you know what? If you are undecided at this point, then just fucking say you're going to vote for Trump and leave us the hell alone. Okay? Just go on and say it, because what else do you need to see at this point? This man has revealed all of his hands. All of it. So I don't understand why we still undecided about this situation. So whatever, you guys, that's the last of the debates, and we, you know, running into home plate now. Yeah, the heat is turning up, and if you watch TV and you watch the ads and everything, you know that Biden has ads everywhere. I mean, he is spending good money on these ads. He is outspending Trump immensely, and we know that those ads make a big difference in, you know, your voter support, voter turnout and all. So, and even Trump mentioned a couple of times last night, you know, you spending so much money, you know, it's just so much money. It was just like, yeah, he's like 3 times what you're spending. So again, we'll see if that makes a difference. But I thought the moderator did very well. People were saying that she needed to mute the mic, but I didn't feel like on either side did we ever feel like a moment when I felt like she needed to mute them. I think it may have happened once or twice, but for the most part, I think both sides was able to control themselves long enough to get through this hour and maybe 45-minute debate. So what did you guys think about it? Okay, if you are undecided, did this debate make any difference to you? Let me know. And then lastly, you guys, let's talk about this interview that Michael Strahan did with Mattingly. What's his first name? I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember right now. But Mattingly is one of the 3 officers who did the no-knock warrant, who performed the no-knock warrant at Breonna Taylor's and Kenneth Walker's home. And we know that Breonna Taylor was killed as a result. Okay. When I first heard that Michael Strahan was doing this interview, I was like, okay. You know, they don't normally give Michael Strahan these type of assignments. So I was wondering how this was going to go, especially with him being a black man sitting across from this white police officer. We know the history between those 2 groups. All right. So, but whatever, Michael Strahan goes, and I guess I'm assuming we sitting down at Mattingly's home so that he can give his side of the story. He said that for the last 6 months, 7 months or whatever, he's been not able to speak, and it's been very frustrating for him because he felt like misinformation was put out there. So now it's his chance. Again, I tell you guys every time, if you want to get pissed off, if you want to get mad, you know, you need to just go on and watch these things because it will get your blood boiling all over again. That Breonna Taylor is much like the Sandra Bland case for me. That Sandra Bland case just pisses me off every time I think about it. This Breonna Taylor case is very much that same way. And then to hear this man speak. So anyway, what he says is they go and do this no-knock warrant, okay? They knock on the door. Bam, 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 okay? Announce themselves. Hello, it's the police. Open up, okay? He says they did this 6 times. You guys know that Kenneth Walker said that they never heard anybody announce who they were. They was able to hear the bamming, but they never heard them announce that they were the police. And I would think that Kenneth's explanation makes more sense because the element of surprise is what we are going for when we do these no-knock warrants. We want to catch you in the middle of a criminal act. So we're not going to say it's the police and give you time to try to hide your shit or flush your shit or whatever you was doing. Okay. So they bamming on the door because this creates confusion. This creates, people off guard. He says that the lieutenant tells him to knock the door in. He says when he goes inside, it's dark, but he sees 2 people kind of in the hallway. He said when he rounded the corner, he said he was looking right into the barrel of a gun. He said he heard a shot and he felt it hit his leg. And he said when that happened is when he started shooting himself. Okay. Michael Strahan said, listen, the reason why Kenneth Walker said that he shot is because he didn't know what was going on. He thought somebody was breaking in his home. He pointed down at the ground because not at the ground, but like pointed low. He aimed low because he's not trying to kill nobody. He's just trying to get somebody from coming in and doing further harm to him. Mattingly says, no, he had his gun right in his face, that they were right up on, that they were both eye to eye, basically. Well, why is it then you got shot in the leg? Okay. How is it that you say that somebody has a gun pointed at your face and you get shot in the leg? So that didn't make sense to me. All right. So anyway, he lets off all his shots. Everybody in there lets off the shots. I think what did I say? 32 shots between the 3 officers. He goes on to say that it wasn't racially motivated. He hates the fact that people say that it's a racially motivated thing. He was not racially profiling, but maybe there was some criminal profiling. Michael Strahan says, well, what is criminal profiling? This is when it really gets to you just sit there, and especially as a black person, you just raise your eyebrow and roll your eyes like, here we fucking go. Okay. He says, well, when you have criminal profiling, it's because you've been working in this area all your life and you know about this area and what they do and, just the criminal intent of the people that live in that thing. So you just kind of operate on that. Now, I'm sure police do this all the time. You don't never really hear them say shit like that. Because now you're just assuming that in an entire community, you are assuming that everybody in there is guilty of some sort of crime, right? So he goes on to say that. He says that it's not comparable to what happened with George Floyd. Okay. I said, Lord, don't even bring George Floyd into this because you're going to make it even worse. And sure enough, he does. He says, well, George Floyd, he don't really know all the ins and outs of the case. He died from the overdose and all of that. I said, overdose? Overdose? Michael Strahan said, it is very difficult to try to sit across from you and talk to you about this. This man did not die from an overdose. He died. I don't even know where overdose came from. Where are they getting fucking overdose from? Is that what the white people police officers have been put in their mind that this man has died over an overdose when we all fucking saw on video that this man had a knee on his neck for 8 damn minutes? Overdose. So anyway, he says, yeah, I don't know if he died from the overdose or what, but he didn't deserve that. Everybody was looking at that like, wow, that was wrong. But then he goes on to say, but George Floyd wasn't a good man. Michael Strahan said, regardless of whether or not he was a good man, nobody deserved what he got that night. And see, this is where we just can't seem to get certain people to understand what we mean. The world is full of good and bad people. All right. Different levels of good and bad people. You can't go and kill what you might deem a bad person because they might have dibble-dabbled in some drugs back in the day, or, they did this, that, and the other. You are not the judge and the jury. You can't go and just kill people just because you have decided that this person is a bad person. And some police officers, for whatever reason, they just can't understand that. And that is why we get these kind of cases where they have fully overstepped the line and they have taken the matter into their own hands, and they shot into that room with Breonna and Kenneth because he was aware of the criminal. He profiled this area criminally. These people are trying to harm me. That's perfect proof right there that these people had jobs, respectable jobs, was trying to make something of their lives, young kids trying to, establish themselves. And you made the assumption that because of the criminal activity in the area that everybody in there is guilty. And now we've got this happening. If this same thing would have happened in a white neighborhood where everybody was rich and all of that, do you think that they would have opened fire like that on these white people? 32 shots? Okay, well, we'll never know that answer, but we can assume. So anyway, the video, the interview was like 10 minutes long. I watched it on YouTube, but I was frustrated and I was just like, it's just more of that bullshit. Michael Strahan said it was difficult to do. I would imagine that it was. Okay, trying to stay professional when you've got somebody that is just further saying the same old asinine, incorrect shit that you hear over and over from, the blue side. All right, you guys, let me get off of here, get this edited, and up to you. It is hot as fuck in this car. Woo! Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm It's Rox. The channel is for It's Rox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.